video number, it doesn't even matter. Okay, now this is a video that I'm making. It's a little sudden, but I think it's also kind of pre-planned. I wanted to make this video for a really long time. This video is about my thoughts on why I think social media is amazing, yet it's cancerous for everyone. It's not surprising that a lot of people in recent times criticize, or have been, and still are, criticizing social media. Starting with Facebook, goes into places like Twitter, Reddit, other social media outlets like Snapchat, I guess, Instagram. There's another one, although I don't think it's not exactly a social media outlet, to be honest. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is, the reason why I think these videos are so, these social media outlets are so bad, and why they are actually harming the people, the general mass. It's because, number one, I think social media outlets are a way to express yourself, right? They're a way to make yourself, well, a little bit more apparent to everyone else in the world. You can show yourself to people. You can tell them about what you really are, who you really are, what you do, what your life is, what your ambitions are, who you are, what your qualifications are, where you work. Basically, an expression of who you really are. Facebook, for instance. That's what I'm really going to talk about today. Apart from that, also Instagram. I don't really have an issue with Twitter, to be honest. It's kind of alright. It's meh. It's not exactly something that keeps you preoccupied all the time. And Snapchat is just Snapchat. It's just pictures all over the place. I really don't understand why someone would be so busy with an application like that. But Instagram and Facebook, particularly in the on the eastern side of this world right now. The western side have already understood a lot about Facebook and its privacy issues. We already know that. With the hackings and the privacy leaks, all the data being mined in some other place and sold off for millions. We all know about that. But in the eastern side of the world, more importantly, my country, Bangladesh, and also in India, Facebook and Instagram is an epidemic. We all use it. I mean, as to just give you my own personal story, it's pretty obvious. I started using Facebook back in the time when I was in 8th grade. I didn't even want to use Facebook because, frankly, I was an advocate against it. I never liked using it because I never liked it in the first place. I always knew Facebook was a place where people would just go and just show off. It's always been a place for showing off. You have these elaborate bios where you write about yourself, where you work, where you've been, what you've done, every qualification that you've ever achieved, which is fine. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to show yourself off, but there's limits to it, right? And I'm not saying that I'm kind of butthurt for that, even though I am kind of butthurt. That's not the point. The point is, you see, I've been seeing lately these people have become so obsessed with social media, especially girls. But that is something that I would have said 3 years ago. 3 years ago, girls were the most obsessed with Facebook or Instagram. Men were, well, they were alright. They were there, of course. They were posting things as well, but not as much as incessantly as women were. And we all know women. They like showing themselves off because it's their nature. It's how they do it, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. It's how they do it. It's fine. Totally all right. But lately I've been seeing this uprise with this new functionality called the story, which you can basically post a temporary picture and then it just disappears after 24 hours. For starters, I think it was an amazing idea. It keeps you preoccupied, and it also makes you really, really observant about people and what they're doing 24/7. This functionality is in Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, obviously, Now it's also on YouTube, which is kind of surprising if you ask me. And ever since I've been using Facebook, I always knew it's a place to, make yourself look like you're something else entirely. I mean, I know for a fact because I take amazing looking profile pictures all the time. It makes me look like I'm some sort of a model or something, but in real life I'm nothing. In real life I'm a guy who's like overweight, not good looking, and obviously has a lot of issues. But on a Facebook profile picture, I look like I'm some sort of a model from Playboy magazine. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating, but that's not the point. The point is, I try to make myself look amazingly good, even though I'm not. So I'm basically representing myself as a lie. Which, well, the world is a lie anyways, but that's kind of an issue for me, because when I see those profiles and when I meet those people, they don't seem to mesh. They don't match, and it's kind of a way to lie to the world as to who you really are. And then you meet them, they're not that different from you as well at all. Like they're the same person. They're just posting shit all over the place just to make themselves look like there's some sort of a king or queen or some sort a person who's basically the happiest person in the world. Lately, I've seen this uprise where people are just posting stuff every single day. Like if they're going to a restaurant, if they're doing eating in a plate, or eating in the morning, going for a walk, anything. Starting from you talking to your parents and having fun with them, or going to a restaurant and chatting with people, or taking a shit in the toilet. Everything has become a story nowadays, and the people just keep posting it all the time. And it's annoying, obviously, but it's also a way to depress people. You see, I'm not an avid user of social media. I use it mainly for one purpose. Well, I'm going to talk about Facebook primarily right now. The reason why I use Facebook is because my university doesn't really have an amazing looking website where it would just have some sort of a way for me to exchange files or important documents with other students. I can't do that. They do not post anything that's importantly, like say class assignments or topics or syllabuses, and some important things, like things that you need from other people. There's no way to connect with people other than Facebook and the Messenger app that we have. And because of that, I am forced to use it for things like updates on the university and what's happening before it happens, because you need updates all the time. Yeah, various types of advertisements and posts for incoming projects and seminars and competitions for coding and stuff like that. And then there's stuff like, just mark sheets and, papers and, schedules for things. Anything that involves the university, I need Facebook for that. I'm on a group for my university and I need it. It's an incumbent necessity for me. So I don't really have any other choice but to stay in it. But I only need it for once a month. And most of the other times, the only reason I'm using it is because of using it. I don't really need it. And I wish there was a way for me to just disable Facebook until the time I need it, but I can't. I don't know when they're going to post stuff, when it's going to be important, when it's not. And so I'm always in this brink of uncertainty as to when something will be posted and when something will not be posted. And so I have to use it whether I like it or not, But every time I use it, I have pictures of people sharing their posts from 5 years ago and stories that they keep posting every single day about what they do or what they're doing, what they will be doing. Lovely moments, making people see how they're enjoying life. As to a person like me who is fine with his life, I am happy. I'm happy with my own life, my private life. I'm not that much of an outgoing person. I get it. Most people think I'm an introvert freak, but I'm not. I have a family. I have a private life, obviously. A life that nobody has to know about. Every now and then I post things on the story as well. Mostly because I want to show off. Well, everybody does that to show off. But anyways, the point is I do it every once in a while. But there are people who do it every single fucking day. And it's sickening. And Instagram primarily is an app that I don't use, but I downloaded it just like a few days ago. Just to, use it just to, pass my time, see if it has any merits to the amount of time that I waste every day. And it is by far the worst app I've ever used in my entire life. Even Snapchat is better than that. Because people, first of all, don't use Snapchat in Bangladesh that much. Even if they do use it, it's not as much as incessant as Instagram. Because every time I go to Instagram, I'm bombarded with people and their posts and their happy moments and shit that makes it look so amazing that their life is just perfect. And every time you see that, your mind immediately ticks off and it starts thinking, why isn't my life like that? Why haven't I been able to live those happy moments? I could have done that. I could have been happy just like them, but I'm not. And it gives you this sense of false loneliness, depression, and anxiety, and more importantly, just, antisocial something. Something happens and you just start thinking about things like, I wish I was as happy as them. I wish I was as, amazingly enjoying life as they are. And it just makes you feel so pathetic about yourself. And lately, I had that issue. Not lately, I don't have that issue anymore, but I had that like a month ago. A month ago, I wasn't exactly that religious, and I wasn't connected with my family at all. I was just alone inside my room, doing nothing, but just looking at pictures of other people and feeling exactly the same as I'm talking about right now. And it's breathtakingly annoying. In fact, there was a time where I actually thought that I should suicide and kill myself. But these are thoughts that can't come in and fleet away as soon as they come back. But you see, I'm a guy who knows what you're losing after you commit suicide or something. I know committing suicide is not an issue, but not a lot of people understand that. A lot of people have an issue grasping the idea of suicide being a completely useless act of, releasing yourself from all the anxiety that you can never face in this world. And that is an issue. I don't know if anybody gets that. There are a lot of people who don't get it and then they commit suicide for that purpose. Why do you think there's so many people who are depressed nowadays? I mean, I am depressed every once in a while about myself, about my obvious looks. But it's not a reason for me to kill myself. Because I know there are a lot more other important things that I need to deal with, and which I can be always optimistic about. But I'm not a guy who's like the only person living in this world. There are other people with a lot of other issues, with a lot of other sensibilities, and a lot of other things that they don't know about or understand. And that's why when they can't find a way out, they choose suicide. And I think Instagram and Facebook has a huge contributing factor to that. And I understood it because I looked at all these people, my friends, obviously, my friends, friends of friends. They're always posting pictures, whether they're in the university, whether they're out, having lunches and dinners and shit like that. And it just makes you feel like you're some person who has nothing to live for because you don't have any enjoyment in your life. When I do have enjoyment. It doesn't mean I have to go outside and play, watch a movie with my friends all the time. It doesn't make sense for me to be sad because someone else is happy. And better yet, sadly, it does make you sad. And that's why I think, look, Facebook is great, okay? It gives you messages and it gives you news, what you need to know about and stuff like that. It just gives you a lot of knowledge as well. Most people don't read it because they're all busy looking at the pictures and feeling pathetic about themselves and saying to himself, I should go and take a picture of myself and post it right now so that I can get the likes and attention so that people might not think that I'm a little loser. When you're not a loser, it's fine to not post pictures on Facebook and on stories. And seriously, who does this shit nowadays? Everyone. Anyways, I know this was a little depressing for a video, but if you've been watching this whole time, sorry if I ranted on your life. And if you're one of those incessant posters, the people who post pictures of themselves and stories all over Facebook all the time. If you are one of those people, I would be happy if you think about it for a while. The amount of people that you're affecting with the posts that you're doing. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing for you to post and show off yourself all the time. I'm just saying that it's not necessary, I guess. Anyways, I hope you understood a few things, or at least listened to what I had to say. And maybe I'll make another video or not, I don't know. I'll see you soon enough.